Hey guys, Season 2 for Borderlands 3 is right around the corner, and within the Season Pass, there's going to be a lot of content coming, and one of those is going to be a 4th skill tree for all the 4 characters. For Flax's 4th skill tree, he gets a Loaderbot pet, and I want to show you guys an amazing build I was able to put together. 2K allowed me to have access to this 4th skill tree early, so I wanted to see what all it could do. I was surprised to see that this little Loaderbot can do everything. There is nothing in this game that it cannot defeat. Now, it does take a special kind of build to tweak it to make it really awesome, but right here I just basically cakewalked through the entire Maliwan takedown and let the Loaderbot do everything, and he absolutely destroyed Wutan. I was just there for backup and along for the ride. This Loaderbot is amazing and definitely my favorite build. I'm going to show you guys all the things you can and can't do with the Loaderbot, and then the build that I have that makes this just absolutely unstoppable. This is an extremely easy build. You don't need much, just 1 or 2 items and you're good to go. Also, I'm playing on Mayhem 11, and that is a new mode that's coming with Season 2 Pass. Now that's going to be available for everyone and it's free of charge. But basically on Mayhem 11, you have all the same difficulty with the enemies, but it takes away all of the lobby modifiers, and the penalty is that it lowers the amount of XP and loot that you get. So I'll show you guys the build for this and the skill trees, and then show you some gameplay of this Loaderbot just absolutely wrecking in the Maliwan takedown. So I've been playing with this Loaderbot for a few days, and it looks like this thing is, pretty OP, and it doesn't need a lot of help. You could go in with just the Ion Loaderbot at its basic level with no skill tree points added to anything, and this thing will kill everything around it. And that's great, but there's a way to put this build together where you benefit from all of this as well, where you can go in and all of the enemies target the Loaderbot and you just stand in the corner and chill and watch the action. This build will allow you to cruise through the Guardian takedown, the Maliwan takedown, any kind of mission or event, you name it, you will dominate it. There's only one piece of gear that you really need for this build, and it's a specific type of class mod that's real easy to get, and then everything else is based on the skill trees, and there's only 4 things you really want to focus on when you're choosing skills. You want to choose everything within the 4 skill trees that allows your pet to do a lot of damage. You also want to choose the skills that will allow your action skill to have a longer duration time. Cooldown doesn't matter, you just want a long duration. Then you want specifically the action skill that is the Gamma Burst in the blue skill tree. And then finally, you need a Loaderbot pet, and I would recommend the War Loader. I've tested out the basic level Ion Loader and then the Bull Loader, and I feel like the War Loader is the more superior one. He seems to target enemies better. The Bull Loader was having problems targeting enemies and then shooting enemies that were in the sky flying like the Racks. This build only used the purple skill tree, the blue and the green. I didn't put anything in the red tree. And this build has a lot of room for whatever you want to do with it. This Loaderbot is pretty amazing on its own. There's just, again, a couple of things you want to do to maximize it and make yourself safe and pretty much invincible in any situation. Now on screen, I'm just showing you guys a overview of the purple skill tree. I'm not really talking about specifically what's on the screen. I made a full video breakdown about this skill tree, and I'll have it linked down in the description. One of the skills on the purple skill tree that I do like, but it's not necessary, but it allows your pet to be more powerful, is allowing the Loaderbot to have the same shield that you do. That allows for all kinds of fun combinations, and the one I'm using is a Stinger Shield, because when something comes up and tries to melee that robot, the robot will do almost 300 million damage in a Nova Blast and destroy everything around it. So here's the gear that I'm using, and again, none of this is necessary. You can do what you want, but I felt like this helped to maximize the damage that the pet was dealing out. The first thing is the Psycho Stabber. This does a ton of melee damage. Also, if I'm correct, the Loaderbot takes advantage of this anointment that's on this weapon. While action skill is active, weapon damage is increased by 200%, and with having action skill going at all times, this should be triggering. I've paired that with the Stinger Shield, hoping that this does translate melee to that Loaderbot. Again, I've got it set up where the Loaderbot has the shield that I have, so I'm assuming the way that I affect my shield, he's getting the same effect, and it does seem to show up that way. Right here, an enemy is about to come up to the Loaderbot and melee him, and that's going to trigger the Stinger Shield, and he is going to do 272 million damage back to that poor little jabber. So yeah, it looks like the Psycho Stabber and the Stinger Shield combo is definitely helping out the situation here with the Loaderbot. Again, this is not necessary. This Loaderbot does a whole lot of damage on its own. I just thought it was cool to max it out the best that I could. Basically, anything that gets near him and tries tries to touch him, they are instantly dead. Here's another unsuspecting jabber. Yeah, just tried to slap him and he was insta-killed. This giant Emperor Spider Ant made a fatal decision when he decided to grab the loader bot and bring him in. The loader bot did a massive nova and just wrecked him. This is definitely a very amusing and entertaining build. The next part in the loadout is the one that I said is super helpful. This is the Red Fang class mod, and basically it says while Gamma Burst is active, Flax Pet taunts all enemies. This class mod is so overpowered. You can go into the slaughter shaft and stand in the corner and the enemies don't see you. They act like you're not even there. You can get through this entire slaughter shaft without doing anything. Whenever the pet goes into Gamma Burst, all the enemies target him, so you can just chill and watch. As long as you don't get in the way, they're not going to see you or attack you. So you just kind of stand back and let the loader bot do what he needs to do. Also, with this setup, the loader bot stays in Gamma Burst for a solid minute. And then when that minute is up, there's only a 5-second cooldown. So you're basically in Gamma Burst at all times and basically hidden from the enemies all the time. The way that this action skill in Gamma Burst is so long is that the skill tree allows for the duration to be increased as long as the loader bot is getting kills. In the middle of the screen right there, you can see the duration of the action skill and how much is left. And you can see it jump up right there when he gets kills. And the maximum that this duration can be is 1 minute. I timed it several times and that's the max. Also, if you don't have this class mod on in this slaughter shaft, it's not going to be so peaceful. They will target you from the other side of the map and wreck you. Right here, I do not have the Red Fang class mod equipped and I'm just showing you the difference. I'm trying to stay out of the way, but they are still getting at me. This class mod is super beneficial and it is really good in the Guardian takedown, and I'm about to post a video showing you guys me going through that, and I was really shocked at how easy it was. For the artifact, you can do anything you want. I was just using a Deathless to get the benefits to the shield capacity, and this one had radiation damage, so I thought that might be helpful because of the Gamma Burst. Then I put on the fastball, and this is something you can have a lot of fun with because the loader bot equips the same grenade that you equip, and the war loader option is the one that will actually throw grenades. I was definitely shocked to see how much damage he does with this fastball. Whenever he's about to throw a grenade, he'll announce it and you can see an icon of a grenade pop up above his head, and then right here he insta-killed a critter and did 65 million damage. And that seemed to be the norm for this build with this fastball. It was between like 60 and 70 million every time. Also, this loader bot has an attack command that he fires missiles at an enemy that you target, and he does anywhere from like 5 to 10 million per missile. I noticed I was using this attack command quite a bit, and it's super useful whenever you're just trying to control the playfield and get him to target certain enemies so you can do certain objectives. And I'll show you guys how useful that is in just a moment. Along with that insane amount of damage from the shield and the grenade, his shotgun is also crazy strong. Right here, he one-shotted Captain Tron and did 250 million. There's other damage numbers back there that will probably go over 500 million. After testing out this build a little bit, I wanted to take things to the next level and I wanted to try the takedowns. I did not know what to expect going in. I didn't have high hopes because takedowns are pretty tough, especially since I'm on Mayhem 11, but this bot was unstoppable, and with this loadout, I was invisible to the enemies the entire time. This was the easiest Maliwan takedown run I've ever had. It was a lot of fun. Right here, I'm using the attack command to target those turrets up there because you need to kill those turrets to open up the door to move on to the next area. So yeah, the attack command with the barrage missiles, extremely useful. Also, something I noticed, and I don't know if this is going to change or not, but it doesn't look like he can take any damage to his health bar from enemies that are targeting him with bullets and other type of elemental effects. While using him, I noticed his shield would be depleted most of the time when he was trying to fight enemies, but his health never went down. I took absolutely everything out of my build and I took all the skill points off and he was still invincible. Now, he isn't God mode because he can definitely get killed, and I noticed that pools of corrosive would down him because he would just stand in them, and with him being a loader bot, that makes sense. But if he stood in a pool of fire or cryo, he wouldn't take any damage to his health. Now, this loader bot is very talkative and it will tell you what's going on with him moment to moment. He will scream when he's on fire and then talk about being frozen if he gets shot with cryo, and he'll say he's hurt and he's damaged, but his health bar never goes down. So it might be a glitch, or they did design him to be extremely OP, but he does have his vulnerabilities. I will have to say that this is a very OP build, but it's not so OP that it's boring and not fun. This was an absolute blast, and I did find it challenging because you had to know how to work with the bot to position him with a gamma burst, know when to target enemies with the attack commands, and just maximize and utilize him the best. So you had to pay attention, stay on top of it, or you were both gonna be dead. So right here, I had some great success getting through the first part of the Maliwan takedown, and here I put him up against the Kraken, the first mini boss in this takedown. I had no idea if he would be able to handle it, but he was able to. I was trying to watch him fight the Kraken, but right here he insta-killed him. I didn't even get a chance to see it, and I didn't even know he was dead yet. I came around the corner right here like, oh, where'd the Kraken go? So the next challenge was to see how well will he do in the Valkyrie boss fight. I didn't want to be too optimistic. I really had my doubts, but he definitely proved himself. I just stayed on the elevator and did the gamma burst and put him in the fight. And basically your job at this point is to be robot management. You have to pay attention to if he gets downed and try to get him back into the fight. You've got to be targeting the enemies for him with the barrage missiles. This was a really fun way to do this fight, just standing back and controlling a robot, doing it all. Again, he's not invincible. He did get downed in this fight, but the good news is whenever he is in gamma burst, he is in god mode. He cannot get downed, even if his health bar is at 0. Now there is only one place I've seen him get downed while in gamma burst, and that is in the Anathema fight inside of the Guardian takedown. That explosion kills everything, and it bypasses his god mode in gamma burst. I'll show you guys how I got past that and through that Anathema fight with this loader bot. It was really awesome. That's going to be the next video. Another cool thing, and most people already know this, but if the pet gets downed or is bleeding out or is completely bled out and you have a gamma burst available, you can bring him back to life with it. Right here, it was getting towards the end of the fight. He did some great ass kicking and took out 2 of the Valkyrie bots. And then right here, something happened, an explosion, and he didn't have a lot of health and he got downed. I'll have to do this fight again with him and see what he is vulnerable to in here, because so far there's not a lot that can hurt him, but something in here definitely was hurting him. Right here, the fight was almost over and he got downed. He did so good, but the gamma burst is almost instantly available, so you can bring him back to life and put him in there and have him finish it. So yes, this was definitely a new kind of experience in the Valkyrie fight. The rest of the way on to Wotan was very easy. I just had to stay out of the way, make sure I'm not advancing until I have a gamma burst available and I'm able to put him in and in front of me. There were some aerial drones in this area that were messing with me some, but he was quickly targeting them and taking them out. And this fight did not take very long. He is relentless and kills one enemy right after another. His reload is really fast. He never runs out of ammo. This badass here tried to punch him, and that was definitely a mistake. He walks out of that like nothing happened. On the fun scale of 1 to 10, this one is definitely an 11. I mean, yeah, we've got the builds that we go in and we sweat it out and we work really hard, but then there's these builds where we can just walk through these takedowns stress-free. It's not easy, but it's a different type of strategy. But I'll finish the video with the entire Wotan fight so you guys can see how it went. Basically, what I needed to do was stay the hell out of the way. Let him do what he needed to do, target the enemies I needed him to go after. The fight wasn't lightning fast, but at times the loader bot was able to inflict a ton of damage on Wotan, and he was certainly strong enough and perfectly capable of completely wrecking him. And again, all on Mayhem 11. And in my next video, I'll show you guys how I got through the Guardian takedown on Mayhem 11 with just this little loader bot. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll see you next video.
That is your target. Attack!
Monopoly threatened. Activating protocols. Now one. A better way to kill. Please.
Titanic takedown.
Brilliant work, Vault Hunter! That ass kicking will make Maliwan think twice before they come at us again.